Crichton's the only one not affected by drotics because he's deficient.
Who you calling deficient?
You! You've got the worst eyes out of all of us. That's why your optic nerves aren't being affected.
I got great eyes. They're better than 20/20, and they're blue.
Hi! Hey! Hi! It's me, your Void. Did you know that I write things? So if you take a look on my intro card and actually read what I wrote there, then you will see that I am also a teller of tales. What do I mean by that? Well, I never not write. I write every single day. I write so much. I'm basically Alexander Hamilton. I word vomit everywhere. It's not pretty. But yeah, I write a lot, be it in a journal where I can shut up about my own thoughts, or in a tabletop RPG session as a player, as a DM, I keep yapping on. You might notice that I literally can't shut up. So if there's no one to talk to, I talk to myself in the written word, sometimes out loud. But yeah, I thought I'd tell you about shit I write all the time, because last week a new idea hit my brainsicles, and being the writer that I am, I was already in the trenches of another draft of a thing. I was like 5 chapters out. At this point I'm 3 chapters out, yay me, from finishing the first draft of that project. So I was like, no, I don't have time for another idea. I want to finish this draft before I work on anything else. So I behaved. I wrote down the idea. I filed it away. And then it came back. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna write it down, gonna file it away in the same folder, gonna ignore it. That was a week ago. Yesterday, I finished a 2,700 something word long outline. I have an outline, meaning I have characters, meaning I have a world. I have multiple worlds actually for this one, because it's a sci-fi story and we are visiting multiple planets. Have I ever written sci-fi before? No. Have I read a lot of sci-fi in my life? No. Am I delusional enough to think I can do this? Yes. 100%. So I have my characters, I have my cast, I have my world, plural, and I have my outline. I even set up the file in which I'm going to dump the words into. So I thought this is the perfect moment to take y'all along on the madness that is me writing a story. I don't even know how I came up with all of this shit in just 7 days. Usually it takes me about a month to get everything to a point where I feel confident enough to write. Or rather, I force myself to do all of this prep work, because if I start writing without a plan, we're not going anywhere. I tried it once. I ended up with a total disaster that had to be rewritten anyways. And then I had an outline for the rewrite, and basically nothing but the names made it into the second draft, so we try to outline in this household. Okay? We try to outline. Are we sticking to the outline? Kind of, I guess. I don't know. But we make an outline. So we have something to fall back on if everything else fails. Because we are what? Prepared.
I'm not deficient. I'm superior. Humans are superior.
What is this project about, you ask? Good question, I have no idea. I was inspired to write this by a recent rewatch of the show Farscape, which, by the way, is about the kind of madness that I have when it comes to writing. Everyone should watch it, it's amazing. And in this show, there are leviathans, and the leviathans are living creatures, but they are also spaceships. And they have pilots. The species is literally called pilots. The name of the character that is a pilot is literally just pilot. And they live in a symbiosis of sorts, where the pilot is like managing the ship's functions and is like the point of connection between the ship and the crew and blah blah blah. And I thought this concept of a symbiotic relationship between a ship and a pilot is amazing. I also was a big fan of the concept of having a ship AI with its own personality like we see in Andromeda. Fuck you, Kevin Sorbo. So that's a bit of inspiration for that. Farscape is a big inspiration for that because I'm aiming for that found family and the chaotic campiness that is going on in there. I'm aiming for that, which is why this project is called Project Farscape, because Farscape is the inspiration for it. But yeah, I'm drawing from like Andromeda, I'm drawing for a couple of characters from different sci-fi shows that I myself enjoyed, and we're going a bit planet hopping like Star Trek Strange New World does. We're bringing a couple of things together, and because I am me, I also need some ancient cultures in there that leave some weird semi-scientific magical artifacts that can do shit. And I also need a character who's needlessly suffering, because of course I need someone who's suffering.
What the hell is this?
Heat deflecting paste. You'll burn up in there without it.
Smells like puke.
I pre-digested it to increase its potency.
It's puke!
So the basis of the story is we have a guy who is connected, who has this symbiotic relationship with one of the ships, and these ships are super rare because they were made by these ancient aliens who had all this cool technology, and then one day they did an avatar move and vanished. So we have an ancient ship, and we have this dude who has a symbiotic relationship with the ship. Problem being, these ships were designed to have a symbiotic connection with these ancient aliens, not with the dude. The dude is not one of those ancient aliens. So they connect kind of on accident, kind of to save each other. And now they have this bond, but this bond is imperfect and it is taking a toll on the guy. And the guy is trying to fix the ship, but the ship is constantly falling apart because it's super fucking old. So they have this symbiotic relationship and they kind of need to figure out how to live with each other while at the same time both of them are dying. And then they meet a bunch of other characters for a bunch of reasons, and they become friends, they become family, they become everything cuddly and cutesy, and they find a hidden, scrambled, a deteriorated message that can lead to an artifact of these ancient aliens that might help stabilize this bond between the guy and the ship to save both of their lives? Well, it would save the guy's life, and I have declared that the ship is not fully functional with this imperfect bond, so finding this artifact would A, stabilize the bond to save the guy's life, but it would also make the ship fully operational with this imperfect bond. The artifact would kind of like compensate for shit, but because, again, ancient artifacts, ancient aliens, they had super cool weaponry, so of course they have a cult that is basically putting them on a pedestal of gods, and they are collecting these artifacts, and they are guarding them, and they are hoarding them, and they don't want to give them away. So we have that as an adversary for the artifact. We also have some treasure hunters who just want to make money from like the trading coalition somewhere in outer space. They don't have cool names yet, and we also have like the core worlds who are looking for these artifacts to display them in a museum or to analyze them and figure out how the tech worked in order to utilize this tech once again for themselves. There's a whole bunch of people, and they all want to have our lovely MacGuffin. So we have all these people who all want this artifact for their own reasons, but none of them are as important as our main character's survival, because we need to root for our main character. Does this make sense? I don't know. It makes sense in my brain, and I'm the one who has to write it, so you don't need to get it. Not yet, anyways.
I hate these goggles. They look like crap.
Here, this may be of some use to you. I made it from a piece of my prowl, and it will withstand a Zakian laser pulse.
Thank you.
Solar reflective flare wrap. Bend over.
I look ridiculous, don't I?
So yeah, having a full-blown setting, a full cast of characters, a full outline after only 7 days is ridiculous, even for me. I don't work that fast! But yeah, you can't see shit in this, but like, this is my Notion file, and this is just the outline, and it's so big. It's so big, as in detailed outline. I don't do details in my outlines. I do like a sentence and the characters involved, and that's it. But wow, I'm amazed by my own brain at this point. But yeah, I thought I'd take you along on the ride that is this story that ambushed me out of nowhere, and I thought we could have fun together with this thing. I don't know. I also don't really know what this is going to be. Maybe it's going to be a vlog, probably not. Probably just going to be a boring little introductory video to a series that may or may not happen on this channel. Yay! So I guess now, in order to write this project, I have to continue my rewatch of Farscape. woe is me and dive into some sci-fi books, I guess. I have like 3 sci-fi books. Maybe I just rewatched Strange New Worlds again. But yeah, that's it for now. We will see where all of this is going, and I see you in the next update.